All right. Well, hello everybody. It's Bug Eater 64 here, and we're getting ready to do a flight from in the King Air. We got to bring it back from KLRO, and this flight is a money-making flight in Air Hauler 2, and we're going to bring it back to KTMB, our home base. At that point, I've got another mission to fly after that, but this first flight coming back, which is 436 miles, is going to be an interesting one because real world weather today is not good. We've had rain and thunderstorms for the last couple days here in the upstate South Carolina, and so we're going to get into um, Microsoft Flight Simulator, get in our King Air, get things going, and head back home to KTMB in Florida. And let's see if the weather's any better down there. So enjoy the flight. Glad to have you along, and we will see you inside the cockpit. Oh, what horrible, horrible weather here in Charleston area of South Carolina. Okay, inside the cockpit. Let's get things started here. Gotta double check everything. We're set up in Air Hauler. And we've got a good connection with Air Hauler. So we can go ahead and get the aircraft taken care of. Got a feel for that guy standing out there in all this wet. Let's double check our fuel. So yeah, let's get it up here, and there we go. That's what we need. So let's see about getting this old girl started up. Co-pilot, do your thing.
Engaging autopilot.
Not a lot of visibility. Not too bad though. We can see off in the distance, and there's no obstruction, so we don't have to worry about taking off at a steep angle. Relatively short runways, so we'll see how that works out, but we shouldn't have a problem. I'll take it down to the end of the runway. We'll put the brake on and run the engines up so we can get some kind of a jump start instead of a rolling start. So we'll get those RPMs up and then release the brake and let her jump forward as she likes to do. Okay, and that looks like we've got two good engine starts. Alright, let's make sure we got our pitos on. And we got all the lights. Let's go ahead and get the beacon recog. Okay. So lights are good. Set our nav up for our GPS. Okay, put the autopilot on standby. Lots and lots of rain. Kind of like the sound of it bouncing off the aircraft, though. All right, let's set our altitude. We're going to be flying at 7,500 feet today. Maybe as we get away from the coast, we might run into some sunshine. I don't know, because I don't know what the weather's like down at our home base in Florida. Hopefully it's a lot better than it is here. If not, it'll make for a more fun landing. But let's get our altitude set. I was going to use a plug-in, which is a very good, neat little plug-in called Flight Control Replay, which works with FSX and Prepared, and it's supposed to be working for Microsoft 2020. Unfortunately, I was not able to get it to work, so I've got to do a little more research and find out just how to load it. It loaded up fine, and then every time I touched anything, it would crash the simulation to desktop. So I'm not going to use it on this flight. I've got my preset views, and we'll have to go with that like we always do. And of course I won't be able to do any replay of the takeoff or the landings. So, but that'll be coming in the future. That's the one thing I really deeply miss from my X-Plane is being able to do those replays. And as you can see, the weather here, it sucks. Something awful. Yep, parking brake is on. All right, brakes off. And we'll start our taxi down to the end of the runway. It's going to take a little more engines for us to move us through all this water. Day like today, hydroplaning could be a real issue on the runway, so we'll kind of watch out for that. Especially if we end up having to land in conditions like this in Florida. Normally I don't fly in weather like this, but with this particular mission, the return trip, I've only got, I think, what is it, about 16 hours left in order to get credit for this mission, to deliver it on time. So that's why we're going to go ahead and, as they say, get her done. And we'll go ahead and put the flaps in the takeoff position. And cannot see the end of the runway. Get out here lined up and set the parking brake. Okay, run up the engine, get those RPMs up. Okay, brakes released. Come on, girl, get moving. Oh yeah, we're going to use all this runway today. Rotate. And we've got positive rate here coming up. If it wasn't for the airport tag, we wouldn't be able to see anything. Alright, so I'm going to climb up to 7,500 feet. And go ahead and pull the flaps up. A little dip there, but not too bad. Go back up here and make sure our flight director is on. Turn on the autopilot and yaw dampener. And get our vertical speed and get our climb rate here. Turn off our landing lights. nav. And so we're at our cruising altitude, 7,500 feet. And we are still looking at nothing but clouds. So that's pretty ugly. But we are out of the rain right now. So, but it looks ugly. One thing I've noticed about the Microsoft 2020 Flight Sim is that the recognition, all the lights on the exterior aircraft are not bright enough. Just not bright enough. So that's one thing I'd like to see them improve upon. Oh, okay, cool. We are coming out of the clouds. Looks like we ran into some blue sky. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's pretty. I like that. Although I must say it's pretty easy to please these old eyes. Alright, so most excellent. So, let's get down to Florida. See you when we get there. Okay, welcome to Florida.
Gator 64. Alpha Delta, X-ray contact Miami approach on 128.6.
128.6 for Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray. Miami approach Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray 2,900 feet.
Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray Miami approach continue as planned. Altimeter tree 0.11. Generic 0 Bravo Golf, you are 600 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 5,800 feet altimeter tree 0.11.
Okay, so we've been descending to 2,500 feet.
5,800 feet, generic 0 Bravo Golf.
And we're actually not far from the airport, so we're getting ready to do our approach. And
Miami approach, generic November 752 Whiskey Juliet is climbing through 6,900 feet for 8,100 feet.
Generic November 752 Whiskey Juliet Miami approach continue as planned. Altimeter tree 0.11. To Miami Airport information Sierra 1700 Zulu.
To Miami Tower Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray is 21 miles north with Tango to land.
Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta, X-ray to Miami Tower. Make left base, runway 27 left. Altimeter tree 0.11 wind 206 at 17.
Make left base runway 27 left Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray.
okay, so we've got our landing instructions. We'll be getting ready to start that process here very, very shortly. My goodness, it just turned into an absolutely beautiful day down here in Florida. So, she's going to be landing on 27 left. Pretty day, no complaints now.
Gator 64 Alpha Delta, X-ray cleared to land runway 27 left. Wind 216 at 12.
Cleared to land runway 27 left, Gator 64 Alpha Delta X-ray.
Alright, so we're going to get ready to start that approach. As you can see, the airport's ahead of us there. Just 5 miles to go. Okay, autopilot off. I have the aircraft. Basically, the runway is going to, right now, is of course to our left, and 27 is away from us. So I'm going to fly around the airport and come in. Keep an eye on our airspeed and altitude. This end is that's runway 9, so we're going to come down, make another left turn, be on our downwind leg. Okay, so we're going to turn downwind now. AH2 is just off the spinner of our propeller. Okay, so we're gonna fly beyond just a titch and turn on to base and then final. Landing lights will be on again. Let's see. Alright, gear coming down. Our first degree of flaps in. Turn in for short base and short final. God willing and the creeks don't rise. Turned into such a pretty day, I must say. Well done. Yeah, so let's get back to the job at hand here. And there's runway 27 right. So I could take that, but they told me 27 left. So I went a little bit too far, but no problem. We'll get her down and landed. Okay, so we got flaps down to full. Control the rest of this with throttle.
Minimums.
Okay, we're in good shape here. And touchdown. Get our reversers in. Alright, very good. And we'll get the flaps up and turn off.
64 Alpha Delta, X-ray, turn next taxiway.
Thank you, that was our plan. Alright. So we're back at our home base.
64 Alpha Delta, X-ray contact ground on 121.7.
121.7 for Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray. To Miami ground, Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray taxi to parking.
Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Lima cross runway tree 1 Hotel Delta Echo Golf.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Lima cross runway tree 1 Hotel Delta Echo Golf Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray.
Excellent. Okay, so we're good to go here. Turn off our landing lights. And our strobe. Okay, we should be able to turn off at the next exit and just pull straight ahead. Yeah, it works for me. Parking brake on. And we will shut the engines down. Very good. Okay, so turn off all the lights. And the bird is put to bed. So, let's finish up our mission. Unload some cargo. No, not transfer. Bill, unload. There we go. We got credit for that. So it means we got paid. Very good. Credit for it all. And I'm very pleased with all that. I have a greaser landing. So. Well, so the mission is complete. If my talking doesn't sync up with the view, that's because I forgot to turn the mic on again when I went to do my final thoughts. So, needless to say, mission was complete. We got paid. Everything went well. Horrendous weather on takeoff. It made for kind of a fun takeoff. And so with that, everything is complete. Next time I see you, we'll be flying the Cessna 208B Caravan in Air Hauler. And until then, this is Bug Eater 64, and as I always say, please, safe flying.